Peace, family. This is Lions Den with another news and commentary. Here in Middle Tennessee, which is Nashville, Tennessee, people there in the black community are breathing the sigh of relief over the weekend. And Officer Andrew Delke who was responsible of killing, Daniel Hambrick. Guess what? The grand jury indicted this officer for first-degree murder. This article is according to the Nashville Scene. It says Officer Andrew Delke indicted on first-degree murder charge. A white MNPD, which is Metro Nashville Police Department, officer fatally shot fleeing black man Daniel Hambrick on July 26, 2018. A Nashville grand jury has indicted Metro Police Officer Andrew Delke for the fatal July 2018 shooting of Daniel Hambrick, a black man who was running away from the officer. The case was sent to the grand jury earlier this month after General Sessions Judge Melissa Blackburn found there was probable cause to charge Delke over the shooting. The case is unprecedented in Nashville's history, as Delke is the first Metro officer to face criminal charges for an on-duty shooting. The indictment puts him on one step closer to trial. Delke's attorney, David Rabin, said the officer would enter a plea of not guilty and continue to defend himself on the basis that he acted in accordance with his training and Tennessee law in response to an armed suspect who ignored repeated orders to drop his gun. An arrest affidavit from September said the foot chase and shooting occurred when Delke, who was patrolling the area looking for stolen vehicles as part of the MNPD's Juvenile Crime Task Force, pulled into the parking lot after a car he mistook for a vehicle he attempted to stop nearby. When Delke parked, Hambrick took off running, and Delke gave chase. He ultimately shot Hambrick 3 times, striking him twice in the back and once in the back of the head. Both men were 25 years old at the time. Hambrick was allegedly carrying a gun, and prosecutors have not disputed that he was armed. But Delke claimed to investigators that during the chase, Hambrick turned, which he didn't. Hambrick turned and aimed the gun at him. But surveillance footage does not show Hambrick pointing his gun at Delke, and in her order earlier this month, concluded that it was improbable he had done so. So, ladies and gentlemen, what this article didn't tell you is that Officer Delke is free on bond until the trial comes, which I still don't understand why that it happened. But like I said, when it comes to police officers, they give them special treatment. Now, I'm not going to celebrate this as of yet, even though I'm a new resident of Nashville now. I'm not celebrating this because even though he's been indicted, it's historic, of course, but because the grand jury normally takes months to even indict anybody, especially a police officer, but they took 2 weeks. But the reason why I'm not celebrating this as of yet is because that, he's been indicted and he's still free on bond. And yet, even though the trial coming up pretty soon, that we don't even know what the jury's going to decide his fate. And normally when you have that, the police basically is going to be set free. Now, the evidence is showing, including the surveillance video showing that Daniel Hambrick ran away from Andrew Delke. He went far, far away, and the officer shot the man 3 times and killed him. But yet, the officer told everybody that no, he turned around with a gun pointed. And according, like I said, the surveillance video proven otherwise. So yes, he's been indicted. Officer Andrew Delke has been indicted of first-degree murder, which I'm glad the grand jury did that. But I'm not, really completely celebrated until he's been convicted of first-degree murder. It's a difference between getting an indictment and being convicted of a crime. It's been a complete difference. So I'd like to give a shout out to, the grand jury. It took 2 weeks, and normally, like I said, normally it takes months and months for them to decide whether to charge the officer, but it took 2 weeks to decide because, of course, the judge itself, like this, overwhelming evidence that the officer was in the wrong, that, he shot Daniel Hambrick 3 times, 2 in the back, 1 in the back of the head, killed him. And I'm glad that the criminal justice system is working. But again, like I said, I'm not going to celebrate as of yet. It's a breather of sigh of relief that the grand jury indicted him. But just because they indict this officer doesn't necessarily mean it's a conviction. Because they can say the indictment is one thing, which means that Officer Delke will have a trial. But then, like I said, we will wait and see what the trial's going to do. What happens during this trial, and we're going to see what the jury's going to decide and what jury's going to be in the jury pool, and that's also important. That we have to wait and see who's going to be in the jury. That's another thing we need to focus on. So I will continue posted. I'm gonna continue coverage and give you more information on this case as anything that develops. Because here in Nashville, Tennessee, this is very important because we want this officer convicted and hopefully send life imprisonment. Which, of course, with officers, that's not really the case. But at least they get an indictment on him until the trial comes. Leave a comment. Tell me what you think about this article. Share this video. Subscribe my YouTube channel. Subscribe my reaction channel. And subscribe my Black Junction channel for all the news and commentary. With that being said, this is Lions Den signing off. Deuces.